Anthony Fauci admitted to the New York Times he'd nudged the numbers on herd immunity up to bolster public support for COVID vaccines.
The estimate is that you'll need about 70%, maybe 75% of the people in the country vaccinating to get that umbrella of herd immunity.
Let's say we get 75%, 80% of the population vaccinated. We may actually have enough herd immunity protecting our society.
You can make an extrapolation from other infections. I say between 75 and 85% of the population.
When newer surveys said 60% or more would take it, I thought I can nudge this up a bit. So I went to 80, 85. We really don't know what the real number is. I think the real range is somewhere between 70 to 90%, but I'm not going to say 90%.
Fauci, in the New York Times, once again admitted to misleading the public yesterday.
This is not science.
So we are not smart enough to think for ourselves, says the unelected bureaucrat.
80-year-old Dr. Fauci there is the long-time director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Throughout the summer, he was a permanent fixture at the White House coronavirus briefings and is a leading figure in the fight against the virus. Earlier this week, Fauci became one of the first high-profile figures to receive the Moderna COVID vaccine, although his core advice has had a tendency to switch around during the year.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
The fundamentals are not rocket science. It's universal wearing of masks.
An issue in that is to make sure you do whatever you can to safeguard the safety and the health of the children as well as the teachers.
Close the bars and keep the schools open.
The founding editor of the online news site This Can't Be Happening says that the best thing to do is simply be straight with people.
Well, that's not the way to deal with a pandemic, and none of them have done a good job of that. You got to trust people, tell them the truth, say, you know, this is a crisis. We're not sure how to handle it, but this is what we think is the best way to do it. That would be the honest way to do it, and then people would have more confidence in you, you know, when you tell them to do stuff. I'm not sure I would go with lying. I would go with that, you know, he made a bad decision to not level with people with what they knew. For me, the best thing to do would be to tell people what you know and be straightforward with them and then change it if you find out something different later.